What are we doing?
This is Dave Klein in Seattle, Washington at yellowribbonjobs.com. What are your salary expectations? Well, they should be based on geography and your research along those lines. You can go to salary.com. There's a ton of them out there. And they get very, basically you want to know three numbers. You want to know the high number, the low number, and the middle number. And you can find that at salary.com. You can find it on a ton of websites out there. And basically, you should not look at doubling your salary. You should have there is a realistic amount of money that's being made. Now, I'm not talking about sales right now. Sales, we're talking about a whole different world, but we're talking about jobs other than sales that generally have a base with them. And they, like, for example, a pharmacist in Seattle makes one amount of money, a pharmacist in Baton Rouge makes another amount of money. They're very close, but there's a little bit difference. A physical therapist in most parts of the country makes a decent living because they're limited. So you're looking at supply and you're looking at demand, and then you're looking at geography. And that's always the way it's going to be. So that is on you to really kind of figure out. And they know. It's not unreasonable to want 10 to 20%. 20 is a little bit high increase when you're changing a position. Now, here again, this depends on circumstances. If you're laid off, you're not going to be able to come to the table. You've got to be in the catbird seat. And if you're in the catbird seat, then you can ask a little bit more. But if you're not, and you're looking for a position because you're out of a position, then they have the upper hand. They will take it. Some won't. Some would rather have a really good employee. But ordinarily, their responsibility is looking out for the bottom line for the company. Remember, you're an investment. You're not NOI, net on investment. So the least they pay you, the more they make on their return. So have realistic expectations. Know your profession, know what they make, and be realistic. If they really, really lowball you, think about whether you want the job. Most employers, I find, if you've done your homework regarding salary, are reasonable. They will ask you about the last 3 years. I recommend that you give it to them. Now, that's me. Some people recommend that you do not give it to them. Basically, it's information. Why would you want to hide it? And it should kind of not conflict with, what you're saying. So there's just certain amounts of money that you should be making. So try that. Don't ask for too much. One of the problems that I get with people getting out of the military or people getting out of certain programs in college is what they do is they're given erroneous information about what they can expect to make. And never, ever minimize the 4-year degree versus the 2-year degree versus high school. And I don't care what your position is just about. Unless you got the rarest job in the world, education always trumps non-education. This is Dave Klein in Seattle. Thank you for taking your time to look at yellowribbonjobs.com.